The Miami Dolphins are trying to make something happen on the cornerback free agent market as they have officially made contact with Asante Samuel. We will discuss all of that. Plus, they continue to view Rasul Douglas as an option. So we will discuss all that. Plus, flag football has been approved for the 2028 Olympics in LA. Could any Miami Dolphin players make that Olympic team? We're going to discuss that, Ollie Gordon, and so much more. Do me the favor, smash the like button, subscribe if you are new, and as always, let's get into this one.
Loses the football. Touchdown! Got it! You have got to be kidding me. Jalen Waddle has a Dolphin touchdown. And he will score! Field down the near side, man open. Touchdown! The run from Tua Tagovailoa. Touchdown! He's going deep. He's going to open the touchdown again.
Beautiful day to be a Dolphin fan. Let's go! What is good, Fin Nation? What's good? It's your boy Reason. We are back here for another one. Appreciate each and every one of you for coming through on this episode. I want to first take time out and thank all of y'all to the absolutely great response we got for my video this weekend, where I basically told y'all, hey, the media in South Florida, 90% of them, they act like something they're not. They need to stop that, stick to what their job is, report, use the access that you have to the team that a lot of us don't have, and that's why. Because like I said, hey, without that access, how useful are a lot of these people? I mean, y'all come to YouTube to watch me, Doug, Kyle Krabs, Ryder, whomever, listen on your Spotify, Apple, the 3 yards per carry guys. Keep you just as informed. So thank y'all for the love on that. If you haven't had a chance, go check that video out. It was a good one. And all I brought were facts, in the great words of CM Punk. Where was the lie? All right. Show me where the lies were. All right. So it is what it is. I want to thank each and every one of you. I'll be honest with you, I won't get into details, but I had one of the people that I name dropped decided to unfollow me on X. Obviously, they saw that. And I see people have been tagging me, hey, Reason, get a couple of your guys together and let's do a 3-versus-3 debate. First of all, no one in the community wants that smoke if I bring out some of my big guns, bro. Y'all don't want that. Unless you want to see a massacre on screen, knock yourself out. But they don't want that, all right? They don't want that one. And Dudley can mediate all day. Because I see people have said, hey, let Dudley be the mediator. Let Dudley. I'm down. But we all know they don't want that smoke. They don't want that one. Because the guns that I will bring out are going to... Man, let's be honest. Do I even need to bring them out? Like, let's be real here. Do I even need to make some, text messages or phone calls? Do I really even need to? Let's ask ourselves that question. And no, it was not Omar Kelly. It was not Omar Kelly who unfollowed me. So, because Omar's, you know what? Listen, at the end of the day, do I not like Omar? Do I hate Omar? No. I got nothing but, me and Omar get along, That's the end of the day, right? Listen, I can separate sports takes from personal, all right? If you are going to come out into any platform, I don't care whether it's YouTube, Instagram, whatever, if you're going to go out into the social media world and put your takes out there, you better be prepared for the consequences of putting out bad and uneducated takes. And that goes for everyone. That ain't even just that's everyone. All right? But I do want to reiterate, because some people seem to be getting lost here, okay? You know, I specifically said 90% because I don't think Marcel Louis-Jacques acts like something he's not. I don't think Cameron Wolfe acts like something he's not. I don't think Barry Jackson acts like he's something he's not. I don't think Jeff Darlington acts like something he's not. I think those four are probably the top tier of South Florida coverage. Cameron Wolfe has moved on, right? Marcel's at ESPN, right? Connecticut, not technically South Florida. Barry Jackson's an insider. He knows what he is. He sticks to it, and he's locked into the heat, the pan. He's locked in everywhere. So he knows what he is, right? Even Furones, he just reports. He doesn't try to act like he's something he's not. The only person, I tell y'all, when you would read, if you guys read the Sun Sentinel, blah, 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 because I have subscriptions because of you guys. So for training camp and stuff, I can show you guys behind paywalls what these people are saying. I only have subscriptions for you guys, all right? And so you can read these people and see how they act, you know? I'll say the same thing, you know? I called out Perkins. Perkins is another guy. Like, bro, we're going to go over our Marcel Louis-Jacques article today. The headline is like a total counter to what Perk talked about the physicality and aggression. Is hilarious. So we're going to go over that. But, you know, here's the thing, right? And it goes deeper than this. And I've told you guys this. Y'all are my family, okay? None of these writers, none of us content creators, no one in this community would have anything without each and every one of you. Period. End of day. And there's no further discussion. Y'all make the world go round in Dolphins land. That's the fact. Okay? Listen, can I be arrogant? Can I be condescending sometimes? 110%. You've seen it. But you got people come in here with only to people with bad takes. Okay? Only with people with bad takes who I know don't know ball. So i.e. people that pop up in the chat, people I've called out, etc., etc. Okay? If I have Alpha up here, if I have Kyle Krabs up here, if I have Ryder up here, if I have, EM, it's different because we're so close. But if I have these people up here, Ryan Roberts, one of my best friends in this community, if I, in the content creator community for football, if I have these people up here and they say stuff, and you've heard it, you've heard them say things I don't agree with. Do I argue with them? Do I attack them? Am I condescending or do I speak down to them? No, I don't. I'll debate them, but you'll never see me argue with them. You'll never see me try to be condescending. You'll never see me take a slight, blah, 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 right? And the reason was because I know they know what they're doing. Okay? And that's the end of the day. I know they know how to watch film. I know they know what they're doing. So I respect it. Okay? They put in the work. Right? So when I hear people who I know don't know what they're talking about, don't put in that work, but then they'll be condescending, arrogant, talk down to people, and you're sitting back and you're like, dude, you have some of the worst takes that we've all heard. Like, yeah, I'm going to call that out. I'm going to call that out. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. I think if you know what you're talking about, and it don't matter what team you cover, in football, a lot of it, especially with draft, especially with evaluations, prospect, all that, a lot of it is projection. So in my opinion, you got all the right. If you know what you're doing, you got all the right to take victory laps. All the right. But how many of these guys can take victory laps over draft stuff? Because they're just echo chambers. If Kyle gets something right, Kyle Krabs, go take a victory lap, my friend. You know what you're doing. Ryder gets something right. Go take a victory lap, my friend. You know what you're doing. 3 yards per carry, guys, get something right. Go take a victory lap, boys. Y'all know what you're doing. Dudley gets something right. Go take a victory lap, bro. You know what you're doing. Okay? Like, this is where I'm at. All right? So, I'm just built different, man. I got no problem calling people out. And that's what it is. And people will look at me as like, oh, you're this, you're that. No, I just don't put up nonsense because at the end of the day, y'all make the world go around. So when people are misguiding you, people are lying to you, people are pushing narratives, and this isn't even just journalists. I'm talking about everyone right now, right? Then, yeah, they got to be called out because y'all are what matter at the end of the day. Keeping you guys informed and you guys the most educated should be everyone's top priority. Top priority. That should be priority number one in this community. And I'm a firm believer of that, and I've said that since we started this channel. I mean, you go back. Why did me and the Dolphin fans start this channel? Because we wanted Dolphin fans to be the most educated fan base in the whole NFL. That's it. Who did the Montreal Expos become? They became the Washington Nationals, which is crazy because look at the prospects they've had roll through Washington since they left, from Strasburg to now Dylan Cruz and stuff. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. All right, let's talk about this. We'll address this right here. Any truth to the Jedrick Wills Jr. rumors to Miami? Okay, I got a 3 takes coming up this week. I got some texts about the Wills stuff. I haven't heard anything from any of my reputable sources. All I've heard about is, I'll tell you exactly the text I got. I got, when was it? It was yesterday, actually. Basically what I got was they want another veteran offensive tackle. From what I understand, Tua may have endorsed Jedrick Wills, but Jedrick Wills is not in a rush to sign anywhere right now. That's what I was texted yesterday. So, I haven't heard anything about Jedrick Wills from anyone else outside of that. So, I got a 3 takes coming this week. I had no intention of putting that in the 3 takes, what I just told you, Jared. So, you know what I know. That's all I've known. And then I think it was yesterday, the day before, I saw one of those Twitter NFL notifications accounts talking about Jedrick Wills to Miami, and I dismissed that stuff right away. So I just don't touch that, If I hear something and then it pops up on an NFL notifications account, one of those known, non-reputable accounts, I kind of I look at it sideways, especially when I only hear it from one person. When you hear something from me on 3 takes, usually it's been vetted a bit. I don't hear something from one person and then boom, I drop it. I vet things. There's a lot of stuff that I hear that you guys don't hear, that I don't put out there, because I vet things and I don't like what I hear back from the vetting process. So that's what I was told about Jedrick Wills privately. I'm taking it with a grain of salt right now until I hear it from more of my people locked in. Yes, that would be it. Jedrick Wills is someone he made my top 30 free agent list. I'm almost positive he made my top 30 free agent list. Let me look back at this. I'm almost positive he made that list. What was he? He was 3, 6, 9, 12. He was 15 on my. Now this might be an old version. I might have shifted him around, but I know he made my top 15 list. So, yeah. I'm sorry. I know he made my top 30 list. Yeah, I want Jedrick Wills. Okay, so here's the thing. And I've seen some people even misreport on him. Jedrick Wills, if you remember, Jedrick Wills was kind of let's be real here. First of all, look where he was drafted to. All right, well, let's start there. All right, let's start right there. All right, now he came. Obviously, y'all will remember him from Alabama. Okay, 110%. Y'all remember him from Alabama. Last year, he came out in the same year that Tua did. I know y'all remember that, right? But remember, he was moved to left tackle, right? If you go back and you look at his career at Alabama, he was a right tackle. Cleveland drafted him and shifted him to the left. Now, you've heard me say, I think Armand Membo could make the shift. Y'all heard me say, and I was arguing with Dolphin fans and everyone around the world, and I ended up being right, that Pinay could make the switch from left to right, and he ended up doing it. He's one of the best right tackles in football. Jedrick Wills, if you go back, I never really talked about him switching to left. I didn't like a switch. There's guys, when you can see on tape, they have it up here. They have the athleticism. They have prerequisites that it's going to make that that could make that switch capable for them. Jedrick Wills, I never sat here and was like, yo, move him to left tackle. Go back. I know you could go back and find my old 2020 big board video when me and EM Dolphin fans were doing shows. But I was never talking about him moving to left tackle. I thought he was moved. I thought I would have kept him there, to be honest with you. Now, I know he tested pretty well, like athletically at the combine, if I remember correctly. Tested actually pretty well, if I remember correctly. But, yeah, I wouldn't have moved him. I didn't see that in his game. Right? So, I don't know. I would have... I like him. Let me tell you this one. The reason why I had him on my free agent list, I like him as a better swing option than Keon Smith. And the reality is, Austin Jackson, more than likely, is probably going to get hurt. He's been hurt more than Tua. He's probably going to get hurt. And I would be more comfortable with Jedrick Wills at right tackle than I would be a Keon Smith, no matter what they try to tell me. By the way, shout out to the Florida Panthers. Don't think I ain't going to go an opening without talking about this. Oh my God. Everyone knows. If y'all know me, you know. The teams I hate the most in sports. The Buffalo Bills, right? The New England Patriots. The Philadelphia Flyers and the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Toronto Maple Leafs and the Buffalo Bills are my most hated teams, right? I'm a Pittsburgh Penguins fan since I was born. I was born into a family with a brother who played high-level hockey and was a Penguins fan since 84. I was born in 85. So I am a Lemieux fan through and through, Crosby fan through. I am a diehard Penguins fan, okay? Me and my brother have a tradition, and we've had it since the Crosby era. So we've been to 5 Stanley Cup games. Every time the Penguins go to the Stanley Cup, me and him go to a Stanley Cup game together. Actually, we have a perfect record. The Penguins have never lost a Stanley Cup game, whether it be at the Igloo or at PPG. They've never lost when we've been there. I've taken my wife to playoff games after we won a Stanley Cup. Me and my mom, I took my mom down there because she used to watch hockey games with me when I played hockey, and also when she loved Jaromir Jagr in the 90s. So I took her down after we won the cup in 2017. We went to opening night, saw the banner raised. So I'm a diehard, okay? I hate Leaf fans. And shout out to the Panthers for absolutely embarrassing them. Unbelievable. Second toughest Game 7 loss for the Leafs, probably since 2013 against the Bruins. And Marchand owns the Toronto Maple Leafs, and I love every single minute of it. Florida Panthers, Edmonton Oilers, Stanley Cup rematch is lining up for me. And Panther fans, that might be where we part ways because I want McDavid to get his cup. So, but, you know, shout out to the Panthers. Okay, you'll always have a special place in my heart for giving me that entertaining 3 hours a couple nights. Oh, that was fantastic. I love it. Oh, I love it. All right. So that said, I also wanted to, I don't know if you guys saw it, but Slick Rick nailed another one. All right. Fred Warner. I don't know. Yeah. Right, baby. I love it. Oh, I love it. Yeah. Hey, the Canes are a good team, man. The Canes are a fantastic team. I'm a fan of some of the players on the team. And obviously, you know, I know they traded for Gensel last year, but they've since lost him. But man, they're a fun team. They're a really good team, man. You know, and you know, my nephew, he has a similar scouting report to Sebastian Aho. So, yeah, they're a good team. Anyways, all right. Fred Warner. I don't know if you guys heard this, but Fred Warner, man, he lit up the market, did he not? Oh my Lord. 3-year contract extension worth $63 million. Whoo-wee, $21 million per for Fred Warner. And I had to mention this because, you know, and think about this. $56.7 million of that is guaranteed. Athletes first. Think about that. $63 million, 56.7 guaranteed. He's only missing about $5.5 million non-guaranteed. I warned all y'all. we saw, here we go. We're getting closer. Now defensive players are getting damn near fully guaranteed contracts. Why hasn't Savaianaya signed? Because multiple people drafted in the 30s between Higgins and Carson Schwessingers have got fully guaranteed contracts, and we traded up for them. Here we go. I'm telling you, 5 years. Guarantee this thing is heading right towards the NBA, and they're gonna have to cap it. And then they're gonna have to put in like a luxury tax cap or something. Like, this thing is heading right towards fully guaranteed. I mean, Fred Warner's amazing. You're not hearing me complain about this, but you're getting 56.7 of your 63 million guaranteed. Yeah, I know where this is heading. This is holy boy. And they just paid Purdy too. It's going to be interesting to see how San Francisco navigates these waters now. Right? They've already had to get rid of Debo. So, man. And I got to say this. I remember when Jerome Baker signed his contract extension with us, and I had and I hated the contract extension. I posted about it on Twitter. It's the only post I've ever turned the comments off because Dolphin fans were insufferable about it. I ended up being right about it, but whatever. We won't talk about that. I remember Dolphin fans saying, comparing him to Fred Warner. Saying, oh, he's, look at his numbers. He's so similar to Fred Warner. I'm like, stop box score watching and watch the tape. Are you crazy? Those 100+ tackles come from, 5+ yards downfield when blockers just let go of the block because the runner's by them. What are we talking about, Fred Warner? And where's Jerome Baker now? He didn't even last a year in Seattle. Jordan Brooks ended up seeing what a real linebacker looked like when Jordan Brooks arrived. Thank you very much. And we were so deprived of good linebacker play. Everyone was just head over heels for Tyrell Dodson. And I'm not saying Tyrell Dodson's not good because he played well for us. He got better as, his time with us went on. And I'm hoping for another big leap this year for him in the system. But, I mean, there's a reason why they're trying to pair Dre Greenlaw with Jordan Brooks. I'm just saying. Okay? So, man, nuts. But, hey, get the bag, King. Now, what else am I going to say? By the way, for all you hip-hop heads out there, this Joey Badass versus Daylight versus Ray Vaughn beef. Ooh, Joey bringing it. Joey man, Joey winning this. Joey winning this 2v1. I'm telling you right now, Joey doing it. But anyways, we won't get into the Beast Coast drama. We will get into more Dolphins talk. And we're going to start off with something right here that it's going to be interesting to you guys. I mean, is the NFL's version of the Dream Team coming? Is the NFL's version of the Dream Team coming? That is a real question, my friends. That is a real question, my friends. Because they have been allowed to compete in the 2028 Olympics. And I'm excited. I'm actually really excited about this. Listen, I know we were just talking about hockey. Guys, I know a lot of you guys have become, more hardcore hockey fans because of the Panthers' success the last couple of years. Olympic hockey is fantastic, people. I'm telling you, Olympic hockey is fantastic. We all know Olympic basketball is fantastic. I don't follow the NBA as closely as I did through my teens and my 20s. I used to follow very, very closely. I'll be honest with you. After the Carter stuff and then the way Chris Bosh left us for Miami, it kind of left a sour taste. Yeah, and then I got back hard on the bandwagon again, right? With Kawhi, I was not a huge fan of DeMar DeRozan. I was also not a huge fan of Kyle Lowry. I felt in playoff games they just weren't good. And I know you Heat fans, y'all know what I'm talking about with Kyle Lowry. But I bought right back in with Kawhi. We won the championship, and then Kawhi dip. I'm like, yo, man, this is just breaking my heart. Because before the Raptors, I was a Bulls fan. I was a Jordan fan, right? Jordan's the single greatest athlete of any sport I've ever watched in my life. Hands down, no one beats Jordan. He is the GOAT of all GOATs of every sport. It's Michael Jordan. I don't care what anyone tries to tell me. Anyways, I digress. Man, if they do it right, flag football with NFL players in the Olympics is going to be amazing. Amazing. Because I don't know if you guys actually watch flag football, but I've actually watched some games before. Like, when they started talking about it going over there, I was like, yo, let me check out this professional, like, you know, flag football league. Like, let me see what this is all about. And I remember watching, what did I watch? I watched a championship. I watched the 2024 championship, I want to say. What was it? What was it? It was the 2024. I know I watched it, but anyways, I was watching some of these teams and I was like, wow, I was watching US. I remember watching Mexico versus Canada. I remember watching like United States versus Mexico. Like, I was actually watching some of this stuff and I was like, yo, this is actually entertaining. And now we might get NFL players. So you know what I had to do. If we're going to get NFL players, well, a roster is what? It's 12 players to a roster, right? I believe is how it goes when you look at the actual when you actually look at the roster size, right? I think it's like 12 players to each roster. Yeah, 10 to 15 players. So this is what I did. All right, you got to have 5 players on the field at a time. All right, so this is what I did. All right, I think you can go up to 7 at a time. All right, but anyways, we're doing the 5-on-5 format, and this would be my flag football team if I was running Team USA. And yeah, some Dolphin players, well, they might not be Dolphins by the time this rolls around. Yeah, some of them made this team for me. And shout out to my guy. He just comes through with the fire graphics whenever. This is last minute. I literally hit him up before we went live. I said, Joe, I need this cooked. He's like, no problem, bro. I got you. Check this out. This is what I'm going. All right? Listen. Yes, I'm going to start my backups. Lamar Jackson and J.C. Horn. J.C. Horn, great athlete. Lamar Jackson, great athlete, can play multiple spots. I'm going Jaden Daniels as my starting quarterback. Right? Better passer than Lamar Jackson, but just as athletic, just as nimble, you know. Well, not as athletic, not as explosive in terms of athleticism, but he's great out of structure, quick with his legs. I'm taking Jaden Daniels as my quarterback because I don't just want running. I want to be able to throw the football. And I would take, at running back, we're talking about speed. I don't need Saquon Barkley. I don't need a guy that with power. Devon Achane. You know, tell me that ain't right. Like, Achane should really actually make this team if you think about it. Especially if he has another good year this year. Wide receiver, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill. How are you stopping that offense? Look at the speed and the athleticism on that offense. And I got Lamar as my backup. If Jaden can't go and Lamar goes, holy jeez, how are you defending that? And then on defense, I went with really athletic DBs, right? Patrick Surtain, arguably the best DB in football, great athlete. Tariq Woolen, fantastic athlete, right? Unbelievable 40 time all day. Derek Stingley really has taken some leaps the last 2 years. Phenomenal. Remember how good he was at LSU? It's continued, one of the best. Christian Gonzalez, I think people underrate him. He's a great athlete, and we all, you know, he's just been on he's been the only good thing on a pretty piss poor team the last couple of years. So I think Christian Gonzalez, I mean, look at the athleticism, look at the speed, but also look at the coverage ability in that backfield. And then the rusher is Kyle Hamilton. You know, you could go Derwin James there if you wanted to, or you could pick another great safety there. But man, how do you stop this team? I mean, I know he hasn't played yet in the NFL, but you know who would be perfect for this team? J.C. Horn is my backup, but you know who would be perfect for this team to replace J.C. Horn? Travis Hunter. Imagine if we see what Travis Hunter looks like and he could, like, he's legit on both sides of the football. Man, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. The Olympics, man, it's going to be fun to watch this first iteration of it. Hopefully they get it right. They have 3 years to iron out all the details. I think this is going to be pretty good. And man, you look at that team, it's exciting to see. It's going to be a dream team. It is going to be a dream team. And man, Travis Hunter might be on that list by the time 28 rolls around. If he shows up in Jacksonville and shows off on both sides of the ball, refines the footwork, refines the route running ability as a receiver, oh boy. You know, because like I've told y'all, Travis Hunter is arguably the smartest player in that draft. He's, he's super, super intelligent. Like when it comes to football smarts, he might be one of the smartest football players in the last 5 years to come out of the draft. He's extremely intelligent. That's what allows him to be so instinctual and so great on both sides of the ball. So, man, he's just got to put it together fundamentally on the offensive side, and you're going to have a special, special monster right there. Special monster. But what would worry about me playing him two ways is in this day and age in the NFL with these great athletes, with the way they hit, how are you going to do you see longer than a 10-year career playing both ways? You know? Oh, Knight firing the shots through. Saw the speed on my team and he said, yo, McDaniel's next gig if he gets fired as Olympic coach. Oh, bro. Oh, my God. Hey, by 2028, Tyreek's going to be what age? Waddle might be on that team, right? I'm just talking about at the Olympics today, the projection today. But, man, Tyreek Hill, who knows if he doesn't lose any speed, oh, boy, right? But Jalen Waddle's another one that could be on that for sure. 110%. 110%. But if that flag football was happening today, that would be my team right now. Right now, if flag football was happening today, that would be the team for me. But Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, and Jalen Waddle in 2028, that's nasty too. Oh, boy. So just a fun little exercise of flag football. That's the team. If flag football happened today, the Olympics happened today, that's the flag football roster I would put together right now. That would be my roster. And, Lamar Jackson would be a backup. J.C. Horn would be a backup. And if you're going to go by age and Tyreek Hill ages out, Jalen Waddle then becomes a real possibility, especially because by the time 28 rolls around, he will have a couple years of probably number one receiver under his belt because Tyreek will be gone next year. So there could be another step to his game we haven't seen yet, which I think we all expect him to take. I'm thinking about it. Listen, I want to hit up that wings tour, man. Like, got to go to all these wing places. I got to go to Barbell. You know what I mean? There's that other place. Here, I'll tell you the other name. My boy Tyler Dunn always goes there. He says it's the spot. Here, let me tell you. But I got to go. That would probably give me an excuse to do the 911 Tavern, apparently. That's it. 911 the Tavern, apparently their wings are unbelievable. And I gotta go to that Barbell and have that beef on weck, man. Like, I gotta try this stuff, So I'm thinking about it. I gotta try that beef on weck. Just get boneless wings. What do you mean I lost you at wing tour? Just get boneless wings. But I need that beef on weck. So, yeah. I gotta, and I don't know. I just hate that stadium, man. Oh, my God. And Buffalo is such... listen, for all of you people in Florida, trust me when I tell you, Buffalo is like the armpit of North America. It is just so, dreary and, it feels like it's overcast every day in Buffalo type of feeling. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just not a fan of Buffalo. Like, there's only a few good things that come out of Buffalo, right? And I've talked about this, Benny, the Butcher, and the Griselda crew. They're great. Love them out of Buffalo. Buffalo wings, obviously, I'll take that. And then the list starts to shorten pretty quickly, for me at least. So, let's keep it going here with some news. Listen, I told y'all, hey, when I eviscerated the South Florida media a couple days ago, told y'all, wasn't talking about Marcel, wasn't talking about Barry Jackson, wasn't talking about Cam Wolf, wasn't talking about Jeff Darlington. So, let's go to one of the good ones. Barry Jackson, all right? Dolphins reach out on veteran cornerbacks and contract information revealed. So, in their continued search for veteran cornerback help, the Dolphins have called to inquire about former Fort Lauderdale St. Thomas Aquinas standout and Los Angeles Chargers free agent Asante Samuel, according to a league source. The Dolphins also remain in contact with former Bills starter Rasul Douglas, who rejected a previous Miami offer after a visit earlier this month. The Dolphins, who are trying to trade Pro Bowl cornerback Jalen Ramsey, have not made an offer to Samuel and have not brought him in for a visit, a source said. But the Dolphins have conveyed interest and said they want to keep tabs on recovery from neck surgery and want to remain in touch. If something materializes with the Dolphins and Samuel, it would likely happen in July. Samuel, 25, underwent neck surgery in April and has a checkup scheduled in early July, after which he will meet with several teams. ESPN said he will be available to play this season, and the Saints have brought him in for a visit earlier this offseason. This week, ESPN's Matt Bowen wrote a story with the best trade or free agent fit for each team and said the Dolphins are the best fit for Samuel. When healthy, Samuel has a playmaking mentality at cornerback and uses sudden closing speed to break on the ball. That fits in a Miami defense that played cover 2 on 27.3% of opponent dropbacks last season, the fourth most in the league. Samuel has the traits to pattern match in man 2, which I will agree with. Now, if you go back to one of my recent Patreon 3 takes updates, I've heard they do want to shift to a little bit more man this coming season. So we'll see how that all works out. But I mean, hey, he's not wrong. When you break it down, when you break down the coverages of what, teams were running, man, we ran a ton of cover. We're in cover 3 like 30% of the time. I mean, you look at zone and you look at our coverages. I mean, we were only in man coverage between cover 0, cover 1, and cover 2 man. We were only in those 3 about 22% of the time total. So, but from what I understand, they do want to go more man this season, which kind of makes sense with the addition of BJ Adams, right? It kind of makes sense, I guess, with the addition of Jason Marshall. So, yeah, I do get that. And he lays it out here. Aside from Ramsey, could be dealt in June and nickel quarterback Cater Code. The Dolphins don't have a proven starting cornerback on their team. The other corners under contract are Cam Smith, Storm Duck, Kendall Sheffield, Jason Marshall Jr., BJ Adams, Ethan Robinson, Jason Mader, Artie Burns, Isaiah Johnson, and Ethan Bonner. I mean, and that might be the idea. Slide Artie Burns into more of a slot role, find other guys to fill in those slot roles, and kick Kohu out more. Right? So, yeah. As for Ramsey, the Dolphins shrugged off April questions about a potential reconciliation and appear intent on trying to trade him. Adam Schefter said last week there's more interest in Jalen Ramsey than people realize, like I reported. Schefter noted if trade happens, it wouldn't be processed until after June 1st for cap reasons. So the Dolphins would have a $25.2 dead money cap hit on Ramsey in 2025 if they trade him before June 1st. The number would drop to about $6.7 million if traded after June 1st. So, I mean, they're doing their due diligence, and listen, if you can land Asante Samuel, that's fantastic. That is fantastic. I mean, at this stage in the game, at least. But I'm going to tell you right now, July, that's when teams are getting to camp. If any injuries happen, man, you are going to be competing with some serious teams for him. And it's going to be expensive. And that, to me, you know, like, I can see why the Saints brought him in on a visit early, because they're trying to create that relationship early when the bidding starts, because that's a really high quality corner that's just sitting on the market. And here's the thing. Okay, let's be real here. You've put yourself in a position where the NFL and Asante Samuel's camp know just how desperate you are for a corner. And I only hear two words when I think about that. Ka-ching. That's the only thing that goes off in my head. Like, you better set some money aside, because you're probably going to have to pay a little bit more than you would a team that's recognized as a legitimate contender and is adding to their cornerback room instead of being desperate to find a starter for the cornerback room. Right? Like, that's the issue. So, you know, it's going to be tough. I mean, Rasul Douglas, I mean, that's probably far more realistic, right? Like, where we're at right now, you know, like, I would love Asante Samuel Jr. I don't know if they'll pony up that bag, because the other problem is too, they're being conscious of the comp pick from Holland. So how much money do you really think they're going to put out there? You know, like, that's the problem. You got to think about too, they're really conscious of their comp picks potentially. And are they going to risk one for Asante Samuel Jr.? Listen, I'm at the stage where you got to win. F a comp pick. Like, let's go here. You know, like, so, because I'm telling you, I'd be willing to give up a third or fourth right now. If I could go get Jalen Watson from Kansas City, I would love Jalen Watson to come in here. Give him a little bit of a bigger role. You know, him, Kohu, and Cam Smith. I know Watson isn't a sexy name, but go watch the tape. He'd be a perfect fit for what we do and what we're planning to do, it seems like. And, you know, he's young still. And he's a late round gem. So that would be where I'm at. Hold on. So I'm trying to think here. Oh yeah. Okay. So yeah. So actually, I don't. Hold on. I think it changes. Let me just double check here. Okay. So because he was not signed prior to the 2025 NFL Draft, the Chargers would not get a comp pick for Samuel's departure to another team in free agency. So yeah, there you go. I apologize. I looked it up quickly and I corrected myself. That would actually not impact the comp formula. So never mind. Take what I just said, scrap it, and cut it out. So yeah, I'm just looking here at something Jeremy Fowler wrote, and from what I'm seeing, I don't think it would. Yeah, I don't think they would gain a. Yeah, they wouldn't gain. From what I'm seeing, they wouldn't gain a comp. Now, if you were to ask into Google will tell you that they would. But from what I'm reading here, I do not think it would impact the comp pick formula. All right? I think the deadline passed with the NFL draft by the sounds of it. So, that, yeah, and it looks like he's not going back. He is not going back. He's not going back. Okay, let me see here. I'm looking at this right. Interesting though. Yeah, I don't think from what I see, Asante Samuel would not affect your comp pick formula. And they tendered Dobbins. They didn't tender him. So that pretty much tells you that, hey, we're letting him walk. And they're probably not going to try and make a run on him. So, yeah, there you go. He would not fetch a comp pick now for after the draft. All right, there you go. There you go. All right, there you go. I can admit when I'm wrong. It just takes me a few minutes because I just double check. Because I know I remembered about the draft. So, yeah, doesn't look like he's going to be fetching a comp pick. Now, if Dobbins were to sign with another team, he would fetch a comp pick for the Chargers from what I'm seeing here. Asante Samuel would not. So, again, I apologize. All right? But listen, I'm down. You know, hey, if it costs you 10 or 11 million for some assurity and some assurance here, go pay it. I mean, think about it. You're going to have about, after they get rid of Ramsey, you're going to have about 25 million in cap space. So now that I know the comp pick formula isn't an issue, go make the move. You're going to get your comp pick for Javon Holland. Go make the move. So, you know, and you got the money. You're not going to carry over 25 million. Let's be real here. So, there you go. Because of the draft, the comp pick formula is no longer in play, and that is a big fish. So, it would not affect a Javon Holland comp pick. Throw the bag at him. Throw the bag at him. And especially, it's going to be after June 1st. So, everything's pretty much off the table after June 1st. You know? So, let's go. Let's go. Everything is going to be off the table on June 1st. The comp pick formula ends, I'm pretty sure, right after the draft, from what I'm reading right here. And come June 1st, everyone costs a little less, baby. So, Asante Samuel, I'm down. Let's go. All right, now, continuing on here. I had to show this because this is look at this title. It's the complete opposite of Chris Perkins' title. Absolutely fantastic. Ollie Gordon's addition in step with Dolphins' focus on toughness in 2025. Didn't Chris Perkins just tell us that they added Savannah and these tough, physical, aggressive linemen, but they didn't add them because of their toughness and physicality and aggressiveness? But yet, Marcel's out here saying, well, they added Ollie Gordon for that. Yeah, point proven. The Miami Dolphins have heard the critiques about their physicality. There were numerous instances last season, like failing to score from the goal line against the Green Bay Packers or running off tackle for a 2-yard loss on 4th and 1 against the Cleveland Browns, where Miami seemingly struggled to assert itself in short yardage situations. Whether the cause was personnel or overall health, the Dolphins sought this offseason to correct the narrative in a manner that has trickled down from the front office to the locker room. I just feel like we hear it all as a team, Devon Achane said. I feel like we go out there and practice every day. We're going to show when the season comes. Everybody who was saying those little remarks, just make sure they keep the same energy. I feel like as a team, we're building that energy and we're here every day. We're not missing days. You can see this year's team is way different from last year's team. 1 year after rushing for the 6th most rushing yards in the NFL in 2023, the Dolphins ranked 21st in rushing last season. HN led the team with 907 rushing yards, but his efficiency dropped from 7.8 yards per carry as a rookie to 4.5 last season, granted, with 100 more carries. The Dolphins ranked 27th in the league with 2.1 yards per rush on third and short last season, and ranked dead last with 2.8 yards per rush on inside zone plays. While veteran running back Raheem Mostert has previously been used in short yardage situations, his opportunities dwindled after losing 2 critical fumbles and losses to the Colts and the Bills, leaving the 5'9", 190-pound HN as Miami's de facto short yardage back. The Dolphins addressed that issue by signing Alexander Madison in free agency and drafting Ollie Gordon II in the 6th round. HN said there haven't been discussions about short yardage roles, but he praised the diversity in the team's running backs room. It's always good when you have lots of backs and we're all good at different areas, he said. Everybody is better at something than somebody else, and for us to have all of us dudes that can go out there and perform, I feel like that's good to have in the room. HN said that rookie Gordon has picked up Miami's playbook quickly in their limited practice together, at least faster than HN did during his rookie season. The former Doak Walker Award winner can help establish a physical run game, could allow the Dolphins to preserve HN's reps and focus on getting him into space as a runner or receiver. He led all NFL running backs in receiving yards and catches last season. Dolphins rookie camp and OTAs, Gordon said he's focused on grasping the playbook more than he is on his role right now, but his mentality with the ball in his hands is one Miami should benefit from. Honestly, my mindset is me versus you, and I'm banking on me every time, he said. I can sit here and lie to you. I'm banking on me every time when I'm in there one-on-ones. So that's my mindset. It's either you're going to get out of my way or I'm going to run through you. The blame for Miami's poor rushing performance last season goes beyond its running backs room. Dolphins ranked 18th in yards before contact last season and 26th in run block win rate. Injuries to Jackson, Armstead, and Wynn hurt their offensive line's continuity, while inconsistent plays from Robert Jones and Liam Eichenberg limited their production. Dolphins signed James Daniels and drafted Jonas Savaianai in the second round of this offseason to shore up their 2 guard spots. Former Arizona product Savaianai was met with excitement by his new teammates. Buddy is special. He's a big dude, but he's a big dude that can move, Baron Brewer said. I'm excited, but as soon as he got drafted, I reached out to him, talked to him, and let him know I'm excited to work with him. As soon as he gets here, I'm just trying to get that mentality and get him to the standard ASAP because the future is going to be so bright for him. I mean, look at the narrative. It's total opposite of what Chris Perkins said. Like, even at the end there, right? I mean, you had Chris Perkins saying, I blame McDaniel, Tua, and Tyreek for everything. Remember, he said the offensive line had the right mentality. He said the offensive line had the right physical tools. Just read the end of that article from Marcel Louis-Jacques, and he put that to bed. Again, this is why I'm not including certain people in that whole little rant I went on. Right? Marcel, look at that. Doing what he does and doing what he does best. In that whole article. Right? Using his access to the team, but also keeping the facts through analytics at the end. And he just made the case that they brought in Savaianai, they brought in James Daniels, they brought in Ollie Gordon because they want to be tough, they want to be aggressive, they want to be physical. So, I mean, like, you know, it's just that's crazy. That's crazy to me, man. You know, I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. So, anyways. You know, it's just shout out to someone in the media totally countering another terrible narrative and not even meaning to. Just putting out good work, and the work speaks for itself and automatically counters it. I love it. Like, fantastic. And if you guys didn't see, the playoff seating looks like it's going to change. So this is the amendment that's been proposed. All right. Section 20.2 of the Constitution and bylaws reflect the following. So the 4 division champions and 3 wildcard clubs, the 3 clubs with the best records other than division champions from each conference will participate in the pro season. Tie games are calculated as 1/2 game won and 1/2 game lost. All 3 wildcards may come from the same division. Clubs eliminated in divisional championship tiebreakers are eligible to be wildcards if their records qualify them. So here's what the pairings for the playoffs will be as follows. So the division champion with the best record will be the 1 seed. The playoff, and then it's all seeding. 2 through 7 is all in order of your record. It's no longer, you know, the wild card team with the it's no longer division champion. It's now going to be just, they want to seed it by best records 2 through 7. So that is what they're looking at. That is the potential changes coming to the playoffs, and they'll be voting on that. All right? They'll be voting on that very, very soon. Do I see? Yes, I do. If we start off like 2-6 or 2-7, they might not fire him right then and there, but the decision will have been made. Same thing as what happened with Flores. They made the decision in like October, November that it was done and it was over with because of that losing streak. So I think the same thing would happen. Now I would just get rid of him and let Weaver ride out the season, so I see what I have in an interim head coach. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you are new. Appreciate all of you coming through. Smash that like button. Over 400 of you in the room. I'll see y'all in the next one. I'll be live tomorrow. Fins up all day, every day. Appreciate y'all.